Test. Okay, back again in another live stream broadcast or podcast or whatever that is. So basically, I'm still in the long intentional free time or unintentional, I don't know. So basically, I already tried to do the good behavior recording twice in the same exact time because I mistakenly pressed the start recording button in my OBS studio instead of start streaming for this content. But yeah, I decided to end quite early because I already tried to do it more than 20 minutes. So basically, in total, I already tried to do 30 minutes in the same time. So yeah, that's the reason why I basically pretty exhausted and tired, perhaps because yeah, basically, even though this day is actually TGIF, so yeah, there's definitely many people start to get not that serious to have so many works because yeah, everything is supposed to be already complete in the previous day of the work, the 4 days of work. So right now are just trying to be calm down and yeah, rest for the whole weekend before we started to do another week of work, even though finally there is another day off again, public day off, which in almost in the weekend. So basically people can get a long weekend if they decided to do an on leave or out of office or whatever that is in the Friday. So it was taken in the Thursday, next Thursday. So yeah, that's definitely not that busy, even though it was supposed to be the first quarter. So some there are several things that need to be prepared until the end of the year. But yeah, hopefully it will pretty much convenience because yeah, at some point I basically only care about the confidence of work. Because yeah, everything that's related to what I can get in terms of my expectation are just no longer related because I already kind of like apathy. I don't know. I don't know what's the is it really the correct English word? So doesn't really care about anything as long as I can still do many productive personal productivity things as much as possible. I'm still trying to do for several certain period of time. I don't know. So basically, this is also the time that I basically just recently heard some new information, weekly information for to be written on my notes, even though I basically a little bit late to go to the place that I must go every week. But yeah, it turns out every time that I basically late is actually the time where which basically conducted by the people that I don't really like, perhaps because they basically try to, I don't know, try to blame the government, even though the current I always think that the current government is technically the best that ever happened because yeah, just like fate and destiny, everything was basically currently happen right now is already the best thing, even though you may seem not like it because at some point in order to reach a good things at a certain point we definitely need to go through the bad things first. So the bad things is actually the best thing that may happen to you, even though yeah, you still have to do as best as you can to overcome those bad things around you. So that's the reason why. And for some reason people just technically blame without a reason because because at some point, yeah, we cannot just basically makes everyone happy. There's always be some people that's technically not enough, because yeah, that's once again it is basically also the natural behavior of human, which is never feel enough. But yeah, we basically need to be grateful and be patient, because yeah, everything was already happened, and the only things that we can make is of course changing the future. But yeah, it doesn't have to be a drastical change, because drastical change will definitely not a good thing as well, because yeah, it's just pretty impossible for something to be good immediately, because there always something that will make them go sideways at certain point, and that's even worse, can be even worse than you what it used to be in the past. So yeah, that's the reason why. And yeah, there's also a story in the past where a king or a government tried to take what unfortunate people had, and yeah, the king or the government eventually die, because he basically do bad things to unfortunate people. But yeah, everything cannot be related to that, because at some point if we basically meet with a bad person that do the bad things to us, we may try to pray for bad things to happen for them, but it is actually doesn't always works like that. Even most of the time it basically never works, because they were just destined to be a bad person, and they eventually die anyway. But there actually a better things than that. Die in the bad pe- die as a bad person. Instead of die as a bad person, we can actually pray for them to be a good person, so that they can die as a good person, perhaps, even though they used to do bad things for us in the past. But if we basically can forgive and they eventually become a good person, then it will much better, because yeah, basically if oh, they will always do bad things until they were dead as a bad person, technically it's also making them doing bad things to us over and over again. So yeah, that's the reason why I don't actually really agree to what the information that I just recently heard, even though I definitely will try to write this with a little bit addition from my perspective or opinion. So because yeah, basically if every people is technically do a positive thinking to every other people, even though they were actually bad, the world's definitely will be better. Because yeah, sadly not everyone has a capabilities to be patient, because they always think patient have a limit, even though the bigger the patient that we are actually get, the higher degree that we will get when we are already gone from this world. So that's the reason why at some point, if we basically try to do a good things, we suddenly feel that the world seems to be a little bit harder than before. That's because maybe we are already past the level that we previously cannot take. So it was definitely a higher degree or higher level. So even though yeah, basically we still can hope that the world that we are the life that we are trying to live is actually getting easier, because at some point we definitely will feel so exhausted when life seems to be pretty hard all the time, because yeah, it's may a little bit relative, but yeah, it's still definitely a real things that can be seen by the others. So yeah, what else that I basically want to talk about? It's basically a little bit complex, but right now I basically try to charge my phone all the time, because I think I basically wanted to finish the pre-recorded Animoji that I basically already recorded. I don't know whether it is actually enough or not, but because yeah, I already started to feel very tired. That's the reason why my brain is also cannot really think about the explanation fast. I don't know. I think that's all that I can say, because yeah, if basically a bad person, we are praying for bad people turning into a good person, we definitely get the advantage as well by they are technically stop doing bad things for us. So that's the reason why it is so much better. But yeah, not every people can do that. Just sadly, because at some point I just don't understand why people get so emotional very easily when they basically think about something that's technically unnecessary. So it's only about desire in this world, but they never realize, or they never said that how much time that they have waste for not doing the things that be beneficial for them when they are already gone from this world. So that's actually the real sadness that we are all must crying out loud, perhaps, even though, yeah, at some point we just can accept that and be patient and try to be grateful and try to be better every day. Because, yeah, it's definitely hard as well to do something that you will never get. Not never, actually, you will most likely not get the result immediately in this world, because yes, some people which basically not trying to do good things, but they basically never realize that it was actually can be beneficial for them in the afterlife. But since they don't really believe and feel believe in that, so that's the reason why they got the result based on what the goodness that they do immediately in this world. So that's the reason why it is actually hard to do good things if you basically focus on the life when you're already gone from this world. So yeah, I think that's all that I can say. I will try to move on into the pre-recorded Animoji. Hopefully it will be enough, because yeah, technically tomorrow I already need to prepare the native language podcast again to be processed, upload, in order to maintain the 2 days consistency, or even the motivation to continue the good behavior recording. I think I need to upload the good behavior recording as well in this day, before I definitely forgot about it, because yeah, I already do a lot of good behavior recording, but have not really uploaded over and over again, because I basically only try to upload when I think that it was actually the correct time, like this making this day. So yeah, I think I will try to upload it first and then try to continue with preparing the leftover Animoji pre-recorded game footage. So yeah, thank you. That's all.